in the studio is Sean Johnson, an Army vet and co-host of military YouTube channel On Parade UK. Have I got that right?
That's it, and you got it right.
That's it. What are you going to be up to today?
Well, I'm going to be celebrating, like loads of other veterans and service personnel across the UK and hopefully across the world. And it's a fantastic day to do it as well. We've got a great weekend, haven't we? We've got the tennis on Monday, we've got the football, well, forget the football tomorrow.
Well, we will. Keep an open mind.
But it's what's not to like about Britain at the moment?
Well, there's a few things.
It's good to hear you being so positive.
Because I was in the Army, and that's why we joined the Army, so we can do what we do, so we can have this freedom, and some at cost. You know, that's why we do it.
But you see, that's interesting, because in terms of that freedom and what you do, it does come at a huge cost, actually, I mean, even for people who come out the other side. Obviously, it can be difficult getting back onto Civvy Street. Never mind those with injuries and those families who lose people. There's not enough. I still think there's not enough respect out there for what people like you and others have done for us. Well,
we spoke about this last time, didn't we? There used to be, back in the day, where every veteran would go, serving personnel would go home on leave, and the pints would be stacked up on the bar, and people respected who you were. Again, we spoke last time. I just think we're in these changing times that are going so fast. We can't keep our feet on the ground, but we have to remember all the time, you know, to respect every single person who gives us the right to say and do what we do today in a free country. But yeah, I don't think it's the same as it was. The Army's shrinking. I heard you talk about that before. I think when I joined, there was like 120,000 in the Army itself. I think we've got, what, 70-odd thousand in the military?
What made you join?
I'm a strong military family. And I was born in the military. I went to school in Malta and Cyprus and Germany. They were different times. And when we came back to the UK, my spiritual home, Blackburn, Lancashire, I liked it. But I thought, I'm not staying in one place. So my brothers joined. Mark went off to the Falklands, and then I thought, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm going in, and I signed up for the artillery.
But what was your experience in terms of knowing the risk you were taking?
A young lad then, I don't think one cared about the risk. If you remember last time I was talking about my first welcome to the British Army was through the IRA days, and a bomb went off at 3 o'clock in the morning. That was the first realisation, welcome to the British Army. But you know what, we were young lads, we fought through that, we didn't give it a second thought.
Yeah, you just got on with the job.
You did. It's just when you came out of the military and you thought, right, that was interesting, I've just done 12 years, a whirlwind of like nothing before, what do I do now? I thought Civvy Street would be an absolute breeze. And I spent a lot of time working for a fantastic military charity, the Poppy Factory, one of the oldest charities down in Richmond. And I work with veterans on the phone every day, and there's a lot of similarity about getting back into civvy life. It's not easy.
No, I say people don't appreciate that. You lose... I mean, you're basically institutionalised, aren't you?
You definitely are, because you've got to take a human being and say, right, let's get you trained up now to, let's be brutal, honest, to kill if you have to. Once you've done, no matter how long you served, who turns the tap off? Who switches it off? Not easy. You're just on the back foot.
But it's not just about being trained to be killed or to kill. It's about being trained to protect your fellow soldiers and expect the same of them. In other words, work as a very close-knit team.
You're absolutely right.
And that must be awful to pull away from. You must miss that.
Yeah, you do. It is that old Shakespeare thing, you know, band of brothers. It really is a band of brothers and sisters. You are on tours of duty, watching each other's back. You do it all the time. When you come out into Civvy Street, who's watching you back then? And paranoia is a big one as well. You lose that, and trust. So how do you slot back in to a world that you've left so many years before? Not easy, but we're doing lots of more work now than ever before to try and make sure that we can do that.
How helpful is it? I mean, with your... I mean, there's loads of charities out there, with the SAFA, the Headspace, Combat Stress, Head Up, there's loads, and they're all doing fantastic work. But even things like having the YouTube channel, which is sort of reflecting on all things military, but also your experience as well. How useful is that to people so they can tap into something and know they're connected to someone who understands?
Communication, keeping the communication alive. The channel that we run, Unparade, we launched that during COVID, and we realised we were all isolated, weren't we? And it's bad enough if you're trying to find your way in Civvy Street. So I got together with a former para, Neil Davis, a former award-winning documentary filmmaker. How can we pool our talents, we said? Can we talk to people, keep it alive? So we launched the channel, and then we thought we'd knock it on the head after COVID was lifted. And we kept going with it because people wanted more. And it was that communication. And then people would write and say, thank you, I've got some meaning. I know where I'm going in life now.
I mean, I know when you do a YouTube channel, you can see how many people are watching.
Yeah.
Is there any particular time of day or night when your viewer figures go up?
It's a hard one. I was talking to you earlier today. We've just launched Shot at Dawn, a really gripping documentary we made in Popperinga, Belgium. And I think we launched it at the right time. We had 25,000 hits last few weeks and still going. But that's made a huge impact. We've got people from America, teachers who are now saying, thank you for sharing this knowledge. We're going to share this now with our children in school so they can understand.
Yes, because they need to, don't they?
Of course, and that's another thing. Are we doing enough? Are we educating our children?
No, I don't think we are.
Where does it start?
But it's interesting with that because obviously they've just reopened the Shot at Dawn Memorial at the National Arboretum in Staffordshire. So that's just so actually there is a bit of focus on that at the moment, which is a good thing because we need to understand our mistakes.
Yeah. And we featured the story of a lady who asked her parents or her mum or something, what did Grandad serve in the war? And she wouldn't say. The family had hushed it up because actually, yes, he'd been conscripted, but he'd ended up being shot at dawn. And it was something of which to be terribly ashamed at the time and not given a proper grave either. I mean, you can't believe it now, can you?
If you get a moment, just have a watch at the film, Anne. It really is gripping. I went to the Arboretum. I went to that Shot at Dawn Memorial. It is eerie. It is at the far eastern side where the sun rises. It's right where it's placed. Those 306 stakes.
It breaks your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah. And what I did, I pulled out a few names from that, and we looked into who they were as human beings, as people, and actually we tried to give them a voice as well, create their voice and tell their story. And my wife was very, very helpful with this. It took me about 4 or 5 months to put the film together, but we felt I got to know these young lads and the families as well. Back then, if you were a wife of a soldier who'd been shot at dawn, you couldn't even get a pension. They were thrown out, and it was just shame.
How do we access it? How can we see
On Parade UK, it's called Shot at Dawn.
So you go to On Parade UK first.
Shot at Dawn. Have a little look at that film, and it's just stunning, yeah.
We're out of time. Just as before I let you go, it's one of the things that always strikes me with you is the long hair. You see, is that, were you one of these ones who, as soon as you left, grew a beard and all the things you can't do in the army?
You know, before I joined the army, I was a heavy metal lad, and when I joined the army, they whipped it all off, and I remember thinking, I'm handing in my MOD 90, my ID card. Now, where's the Q stores? I want my hair back. Yeah, put it back on.
And now you look as though you're off to Glastonbury.
People say I've just come off the beach.
Sean, really good to see you.
It's lovely to see you.
God bless you.
Some benefits to handing your Mod 90 back. You go, get your hair back. Oh, lovely stuff. Right, we've got the sport with Aidan heading your way in just a minute.